Have you ever noticed how some women don't flirt in a direct way? Instead, they check your awareness quietly, especially when you are a man over 50. Women act differently around you. They do not want to appear needy. They do not want to seem too easy, so they ask certain things instead. And here is what most men do not understand. A woman who feels drawn to an older man will almost always ask two very specific questions. It is like a message hidden in plain sight. Before I reveal them, do me a small favor. Tap the like button and comment if you have ever missed a woman's signal and only understood it later. Your engagement helps this reach more men who need it. Hi, I'm Mary Smith, and welcome to the Mindful Senior Living YouTube channel. Today we're going to explore something many men over 50 overlook. Yet it can completely transform the way women respond to them. Men often believe that with age comes invisibility. The truth is the opposite. Mature men who understand the nuances of female psychology can become magnetic simply by being aware, present, and emotionally steady. Now let's pause for a moment. Imagine sitting in a cozy cafe, the kind where sunlight filters softly through the windows, and you're having a light, easy conversation with a woman. She laughs a little more than usual, tilts her head, touches her hair, and seems genuinely curious about your life. Most men might think, oh, she's just being polite. But the reality is far more interesting and far more powerful if you recognize it. What she's doing in those small gestures is testing your awareness, your emotional presence, and your ability to notice subtle signals. This is the essence of feminine psychology at work. Women rarely show interest openly, especially with older men. They test emotional calm, presence, and attentiveness. When she begins to view you as someone trustworthy, emotionally, physically, and intimately, her energy shifts from casual curiosity to intentional engagement. She starts asking questions designed to uncover three key aspects about you: your strength as a man, your emotional and practical availability, and your awareness. And this is when the two crucial questions appear. Understanding them requires looking deeper into the psychology behind female behavior. Many men over 50 were raised in a time when people spoke more directly. I like you meant exactly that. But today, even mature women express attraction differently. They do not announce their interest directly. Emotional maturity and attraction are layered. A woman will explore carefully before revealing desire. When she asks questions, she isn't being nosy. She's creating a safe way to feel you out without risking rejection. She hides her interest inside curiosity. And if you don't notice, she usually won't repeat the offer. Feminine psychology is subtle but consistent. Questions serve the same role for women that actions serve for men. Where a man might offer help, protection, or support to show interest, a woman asks a question that hints at closeness, testing your presence and attentiveness. There are endless questions a woman could ask in daily life, but when she's gently exploring intimacy with a mature man, only two consistently appear. Before I reveal them, understand that she is not trying to pry. She's sensing your emotional warmth. She's checking. Is he calm, steady, and open to my energy? These questions aren't about gathering information. They are about connection. Think of them as emotional bridges. She places them carefully, watching if you step onto them with presence. When you do, everything shifts in her mind and body. Most men respond to these questions literally, missing the deeper meaning. A wise, grounded man recognizes that she's not collecting facts. She's assessing alignment. She's checking if you notice what's beneath the surface, if you are conscious, present, and calm. She doesn't need you to show off. She needs to feel you are emotionally awake. The first question she asks is designed to uncover your availability, not your calendar, but your heart. She wants to sense whether your life has emotional space for her. This isn't about practical logistics. It's psychological. It's her way of asking, are you open or closed? Can I come closer without feeling pushed away? Women avoid wasting emotional effort, so they test for openness first. Think of it like a man leaning in slightly to see if the woman reciprocates. Most men assume casual chat, but if you notice the meaning behind it, you step into a moment that naturally builds attraction. The second question she asks reveals your direction, not your career or goals, but your inner movement, your purpose. Women are drawn to men who are anchored, who have a sense of stability and emotional clarity. They avoid men who drift. Because security and intentionality in life signal that she can safely invest her emotional energy. When she asks this second question, she is envisioning what being close to you would feel like. She wants to feel that your presence carries weight, clarity, and steadiness. These two questions matter deeply for men over 50. The questions are subtle. Missing these two questions is missing the moment she's inviting you in, and once the door closes, most women won't open it again. Now, let's reveal the questions themselves and explore exactly how you can respond to cultivate attraction and connection. The first question is, do you spend a lot of time alone? It sounds harmless, but it carries profound meaning. She's asking, is there room for me in your life? Women phrase this differently. Do you usually go out alone? Do you keep to yourself? Are you seeing anyone lately? It's never about loneliness. It's about access, whether she can enter your life without forcing her presence. Imagine a real-life scenario. You're at a bookstore, browsing together. She casually asks, do you often come here alone? Most men respond literally, yes, I like coming alone. That's technically true, but it misses the deeper psychological signal. The right response balances emotional openness with strength. I enjoy my space, but I'm always open to good company. Or, I like my routines, but I'm open to someone who adds something meaningful. This communicates emotional availability without neediness, inviting her into a world she already imagined herself part of. A steady, mature man recognizes that this question isn't a simple inquiry. It's a subtle test. Women are evaluating your presence, warmth, and receptivity. When you answer with calm and clarity, you create emotional safety, which is irresistible. She feels possibility, curiosity, and comfort all at once. The second question is, what are you looking for these days? Again, it is never casual. It is intimate, personal, and revealing. If she didn't feel drawn to you, she would never ask something so meaningful. Here, she is assessing your direction and emotional purpose. Women need a man who is emotionally alive, moving with clarity, and able to anchor her in safety. Answers like, I'm taking life day by day, or I'm not sure signal drifting, which diminishes attraction. The key is masculine clarity. You don't need a long explanation. You don't need to recount your entire life story. A concise, intentional answer works. I'm building a simpler, stronger chapter with the right people. Or, I'm focusing on living with purpose and creating meaningful experiences. This demonstrates emotional presence, life direction, and stability. She can imagine herself alongside you, which sparks attraction. Let's pause here and relate this to real-life experiences many men overlook. Think about a friend who always seems single, yet receives attention effortlessly. Chances are he isn't flaunting wealth or physical dominance. He's present, grounded, and emotionally clear. Women sense this intuitively. His availability and direction invite connection, without him even trying. This is the kind of subtle magnetism we're cultivating here. It's important to understand that women rarely ask these questions randomly. They measure emotional readiness. Do you spend a lot of time alone? Assesses openness. What are you looking for these days? Measures direction. Together, they create emotional pull. Women don't need perfection. They need clarity, presence, and alignment. These two questions repeat across cultures and ages because they emerge naturally from feminine psychology. Imagine sitting across from a woman in a cozy holiday setting. The room smells faintly of pine, soft music plays in the background, and there's warmth in the air. She laughs at a small joke you made, brushes her hair behind her ear, and then gently asks, do you spend a lot of time alone? This is her first emotional step toward you. If you respond with awareness and calm, she senses encouragement. If you respond with confusion, defensiveness, or dismissal, the energy drops immediately. Minutes or hours later, she may ask, what are you looking for these days? This second question determines whether she feels it safe to go deeper emotionally. A grounded, clear response opens possibility. Uncertainty closes the door. Now, let's break down how these questions play out in everyday life. Think about the subtlety. A woman asks, do you spend a lot of time alone? In a way that feels casual. Maybe you're at a gallery, a small party, or even chatting online. She's not interrogating you. She's assessing if she can emotionally and physically enter your world. Her energy shifts if she senses that you are open, balanced, and receptive. Here's a practical exercise you can do right now to internalize this awareness. The next time you interact with women, friends, acquaintances, or potential romantic interests, practice noticing subtle cues. Listen for questions that seem ordinary, but might carry emotional weight. Notice the tone, pauses, and context. Ask yourself, is she genuinely curious about the answer, or is she exploring my presence? Over time, this builds your intuition, your emotional radar, and your ability to respond in a way that naturally encourages closeness. Let's revisit the first question and how you can respond with presence and attraction in mind. She asks, do you spend a lot of time alone? A simple, literal answer misses the depth. Instead, use calm, open language. I enjoy my space, but I love sharing meaningful moments with people who matter. Notice how this works psychologically. You're not over-explaining, not appearing desperate. You're signaling availability while maintaining your own emotional integrity. This combination, openness without neediness, is magnetic. Women are incredibly sensitive to emotional balance. If your tone or body language shows anxiety or defensiveness, she feels it instantly. Conversely, calm curiosity and gentle warmth invite her to lean in. This is why men over 50 often experience moments where women pull away. They sense uncertainty. When you respond from a place of clarity, grounded presence, and awareness, you become the kind of man who women gravitate toward. Now, the second question, what are you looking for these days? This is about inner direction and emotional purpose. Women are drawn to men who are moving forward. They sense intention as a form of emotional security. When answering, avoid vagueness. Instead, articulate a clear but concise statement about your life's focus. For example, I'm focused on building meaningful connections, or I'm embracing this chapter with clarity and intention. This shows emotional leadership, stability, and availability for a deeper connection. To give you a real-life example, consider Richard, a 57-year-old friend of mine. He had been single for years and often wondered why women seemed distant. Once he started noticing these subtle cues and responding with calm clarity, he transformed his dating life. When asked, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" he answered, "I enjoy my routines, but I welcome someone who brings meaningful energy." When asked, "What are you looking for these days?" he said, "I'm focusing on authentic connections and experiences that feel real." These responses created emotional pull, and within months, he found a deep, meaningful connection. The key takeaway here is that women are not testing for superficial traits. They're testing emotional attunement. Miss these subtle cues, and the moment disappears. Notice them, and you become someone who draws women in. This principle extends beyond romance. It applies to friendships, professional connections, and even family. Now, let's tie this into practical exercises for men over 50. First, cultivate awareness in everyday interactions. Is it surface-level curiosity, or is there an emotional undertone? Second, practice calm, open communication. Avoid defensiveness or over-explaining. Third, develop clarity about your life's direction. Am I moving intentionally, or am I drifting? And fourth, integrate emotional presence into your body language. Relaxed posture, soft eye contact, and steady tone signal availability. Finally, let's look at the broader psychological principle behind these questions. Women ask because they are evaluating your emotional landscape. Do you spend a lot of time alone? Measures openness, whether your world has space for connection. What are you looking for these days? Measures direction, whether your life has purpose and intentionality. These questions create emotional pull because they signal that she is considering you as someone meaningful in her life. Think about this from a neuroscience perspective. Human brains are wired to seek emotional safety and alignment. When a woman senses that a man is emotionally present, calm, and moving with purpose, her brain releases subtle dopamine signals associated with comfort, trust, and desire. In other words, these small questions are not just conversational, they trigger a deep biological response. Women are wired to detect subtle signals of stability, awareness, and direction, especially in men over 50. Because experience and maturity amplify these traits. Here's another practical scenario. You're at a holiday gathering, music playing softly, and you notice a woman observing you. She smiles, laughs lightly, and finally asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" You respond with grounded presence. "I enjoy my space, but meaningful company is always welcome." You maintain eye contact, a calm tone, and a subtle warmth in your body language. The energy shifts. Later, she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" You reply, "I'm focusing on creating meaningful experiences and connections this year." Suddenly, the interaction transforms from casual conversation to emotional engagement. She feels curiosity, comfort, and possibility, all triggered by two small questions handled with presence and awareness. Here's the subtle magic men over 50 often miss. Women rarely repeat these invitations. If you miss the moment, the door closes. Understanding this is liberating. It's not about performing or impressing, it's about noticing, responding with clarity, and being present. This insight changes your approach entirely. Rather than guessing, you tune into emotional signals, respond thoughtfully, and create a magnetic energy that draws women naturally. Before we wrap up, let's integrate this into a broader life perspective. Relationships, intimacy, and connection are not just about romance. They're about emotional awareness, presence, and intentionality. These principles apply to friendships, family, and professional relationships as well. A man over 50 who cultivates emotional clarity, steady presence, and intentional living becomes magnetic in all areas of life. Women in particular respond to this because it signals depth, reliability, and authenticity, qualities often overlooked but deeply desired. Finally, let's apply this to everyday living, even outside dating. Holidays, social gatherings, or casual interactions all carry opportunities to notice subtle cues. When a woman or anyone signals emotional curiosity, pause, reflect, respond with calm, clear presence. This simple practice transforms your interactions and makes every connection more meaningful. To close, here's a final exercise. The next time you notice a woman asking a question that seems ordinary, stop. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is there an emotional layer here? Then respond with clarity, warmth, and presence. You'll notice a shift instantly, not because you're performing, but because you're engaging with authenticity. If you found this helpful, comment the phrase, "I see the signs below," to show you understood the message and are ready to use it. Your engagement helps this message reach more men who need it. Remember, women communicate attraction subtly. Mature men who notice, respond, and lead with presence naturally create emotional pull and meaningful connection. So, over 50, take a deep breath, stay aware, and respond with clarity. Recognize the subtle questions, understand their meaning, and approach each interaction with calm presence. Women aren't testing you to trap you, they're inviting you into a space of connection. Step into that space with warmth, awareness, and emotional steadiness, and you'll never again wonder if a woman is truly interested in you.